Hey, listen, I got a package in the mail today that I've been waiting on, and I am so excited, y'all. What could it be? I don't know. Let me show you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Look at that. Mm, mm. Maya? You're doing something right here. Maya, welcome to Side Hustle Saturday Hustle Talks.
Thank you for having me. I'm honored to be here.
You know, I am so delighted to have you on my show today. I always have a funny story or how I get my guests, but I had read about you in blackbusiness.com. And as that is when I had first started Side Hustle Saturday. And I was like, I'm not going to reach out quite yet because I'm just starting my platform. I'm pretty small. I'm just going to wait. But I'm going to order some cookies though. And so
thank you.
And so I ordered them cookies and ooh, child, when I tell you, I had to hide them because
I'm glad you enjoyed them.
That good. They were delicious. And I ordered some more. But I just, the cookies, you had me there. And then I read more about, and I followed you in how you grew and your following and your supporters. And I just was like, so drawn into your story that I just had to have you on the show. So thank you for being on the show and sharing your entrepreneurial journey with me in a Side Hustle Saturday community.
Oh, it's my pleasure, and a journey it has been, let me tell you.
We're going to get into it. So I know you are spreading cookie joy all over San Diego. Tell us about Maya's Cookies.
Well, Maya's Cookies was founded in 2015 as my side hustle to bring in a little extra money to help pay for my two boys that were in college at the same time. Mm-hmm. And I was selling them out of my home. It got to about 20 dozen a week when I decided maybe I could turn this into a real hustle, not just a side hustle. So I took the necessary steps to do that. I opened a credit card with $3,000 and paid for all my permits and everything I needed to get started. And I launched at local farmers markets. And that's basically how I started. I hit a nerve because it turns out that people wanted a delicious gourmet vegan cookie. Mm-hmm. And I was there with my delicious homemade gourmet vegan cookie. So it's my recipe. Yeah, it's my recipe. I started with 3 flavors. Excuse me, I started with 1 flavor, chocolate chip. And then I made chocolate. And then I decided to merge those 2 and marble it together, and I had my marble fudge. So those are my 3 flavors. And I just focused on what I remember having in the 80s, the Mrs. Fields cookies at the mall.
Yeah, I remember.
So I like to say I'm a combination of Mrs. Fields and I don't know, I guess I could Famous Amos. Mrs. Fields and Famous Amos had a baby in today's time. Yeah. So everything we make, it's 100% plant-based. And it turns out people are looking for plant-based options that actually taste good.
Yes, they are. And now your business has been named 2021 Black-owned Business of the Year in San Diego. How important is that to you as a Black business owner?
That's extremely important because I'm trying to set an example for all the other Black girls out there that are coming up who want to start a side hustle and think it's impossible. Anything's possible if you work hard, do the right thing, and you stick to your guns and you put your big girl pants on when the going gets tough. Yeah. And stick to it. So I started this out of my home. We now have 20 employees. We like to give back to the community. We like to hire from programs that give people a second chance. Mm-hmm. So I am so proud of what I've accomplished with the help of my team, which includes my family. And I was so happy to be recognized for that. And my story truly is a story of resilience, overcoming obstacles and not giving up, and
Mhm.
trying to make the best decisions and doing the right thing.
So, I'm gonna do a segue into that. So, when times did get tough, when you felt like, forget it, I don't want to do this no more. What was it that you did to be like, I'm gonna just keep pushing. I'm not gonna give up.
I have grit and determination. Part of that is because of how I was brought up,
Mm-hmm.
and I never realized how much grit and determination I have, and mental toughness and physical toughness, until I was pushed and taxed to the max. In the
Mm-hmm.
summer of 2020, when everyone was reacting to supporting Black businesses, our business ended up on several lists that were circulating around the internet. So I went from maybe 20 orders a week online to all of a sudden we had 10,000 orders backed up in our queue.
Oh my God.
And people, it's one thing for me to say it and you to hear it, but to live it is a whole nother ball game. When you have
Mm-hmm.
10,000 orders of cookies
Yeah.
and you have to bake those cookies, you have to make
Mm-hmm.
that dough. I mean, I think I did the math and it ended up being somewhere along the lines of 250,000 cookies that we ended up making. So imagine how daunting that task was to
Yeah.
source ingredients during COVID. I had enough ingredients to maybe make 50 orders, but I
Wow.
didn't have 10,000 orders worth of ingredients on hand, nor did I have 10,000 shipping boxes, nor did I have 10,000 label, it's just all those
Man.
little things.
Yeah.
And I did the math and realized that I would have to bring my team back, obviously, because I had let everyone go during COVID since our
Mm-hmm.
farmers market income slowed down. So I had to basically, in order to stay on track and get these orders out within 4 weeks, because on our website it said you get your order within 3 days of ordering, which
Yeah.
wasn't going to happen. So in order to at least get them out within 4 weeks, we had to bake and work nonstop round the clock. And for me personally, that meant that I was working from 4 a.m. to 9 p.m., no breaks,
Oh
not
my.
eating. Everyone's coming to me as a leader to problem solve while I'm trying to produce this,
Yeah.
so there's problems happening and I'm trying to problem solve. Everyone's coming to me because I'm the leader, and I'm also trying to show leadership and let my team know that we can do this, because they were all stressed to the max and having
Yeah.
doubts as well. And every day there would be a new issue that came up. I felt like I would get socked to the right and socked to the left and have to get
Yeah.
up and figure it out. And an example of that is we found out that some of our supplies were going to take 2 weeks to get in. And
Oh,
I said, I can't wait 2 weeks. These
yeah.
orders, people are emailing us every day saying, where's my order? You know, so just things like that. Or we ran out of boxes one day.
Mhm.
We ordered pallets and pallets of supplies, but one day we walked in and we had already baked all the cookies for 500 orders to get shipped that day and didn't have any boxes. So just little things like that that would come up, and not eating, working around the clock. It really affected my health. My
Mm.
hands were rigid from producing product. I couldn't even pull my covers up at night. I'd get in bed
Oh,
and my husband would have to
wow.
pull the covers over me. I burst a vessel in my eye. My wrist
Oh
was
my
all jacked. I was putting
goodness.
painkillers, and I was exhausted, no days off.
Yeah.
So I didn't have any days off until this happened June 2nd. I finally got a day off in September. So 7 days a week, 15 plus
Wow.
hours a day. And in the heat of summer, we do live in California, and imagine the heat of summer working next to hot ovens
Yeah.
with masks on during COVID. It was daunting. And so those were just some of the challenges I faced, where, yeah, I would cry on my way home because I was exhausted and I was
Mhm.
scared and I didn't know if I could do it. And I was stressed to the max. And I was trying not to show that to my team. So, when I was by myself on my way home, that's when I could let it go. And I asked my three sons and my husband to give me strength, and they put their arms around me and let me know that they're there for me and will take care of me. So they pitched in as well. My husband would come in after work and help wash dishes. My son would come and feed me. He would bring me food because I couldn't stop. So it's just, all of those things put together really tested. It was the hardest thing I've ever had to do, even giving childbirth. And not only
Wow.
that, but we also had people coming at us left and right. Why are people that were against the Black Lives Matter
Yeah.
movement
Yeah.
and accusing us of using our Blackness to get sales,
Oh,
and or people accusing me of not being Black and just saying I'm a Black-owned business to get sales. So, I mean, I was getting, people were
wow.
coming at me left and right all the time. And I'm just trying to make $1 out of 15 cents and send my
Right.
kids to college and provide
Right.
some jobs.
Right.
So, I was dealing with a lot of that behind the scenes stuff as well. A lot of people coming on the attack. We had here locally in our town in San Diego, someone was going around and posting negative Yelp reviews on every Black-owned business in San Diego, specifically the
Oh,
food businesses. So
no.
we had people doing stuff like that. So, and not only that, but I wanted to make sure that our product and our customer service was going to show them Black excellence, because I
Yeah.
didn't want to get any of these people that were ordering a reason to say, see, I tried to support a
Yeah.
Black-owned business and
And
look what I got.
look at what I got. Right.
So I had that pressure. I was going to show them Black excellence, and I always did and still do, no matter what. But I knew how critical it was during this, because we got so much attention. And
Yeah.
we did get, 10,000 orders. There's bound to be some missteps and some
Mhm.
mistakes. And we fixed it. We would have people say, how long is it going to take? And when we would tell them, they would say, cancel my order. So we developed a system where if they did say that, then we would pull their order from the queue and just let them know, we'll pull your order from the queue and put it to the front of the queue for today. So every single day we had about 150 orders
Yeah.
that we plucked out of the queue that needed to go out that day, that were special orders because the customer was going to potentially cancel. And they were happy with that. And, it made them feel special that we were going to pull their
Yeah.
order number 9,000 when we were only on orders number 2,000s. We would go into their order and pull it out of the queue. So we were critical thinking and problem solving on the fly almost every day, but we seemed to make it work.
And I think that's important. I think that, those are the traits of a good leader.
Thank
You
you.
didn't fold. You didn't, you knew how to delegate. You were there for questions. If you need me, come and seek me out, come and talk to me. So I think and that's key with running any business. You have to show leadership skills. And if you can't be a good leader, your business is going to falter.
Yep. Exactly right. Lead by example.
You have to. So we talked about, how you did your sales. You talked about how, some of the problems that you did and the problem solving techniques. What was a mistake that you made that you learned from?
I made so many mistakes, and I'm glad you asked that, because I make sure I learn from those mistakes and
Mhm.
and don't repeat those mistakes. So I made a lot of mistakes. Specifically, are you asking during this time period or in general during the course of my business?
I think during your entrepreneurial journey.
Well, during my journey, especially in the beginning, I'm very quiet and reserved. I'm not someone who's very boastful, but I'm always in my head thinking and
Yeah.
calculating. I'm very observant. And so some people think that when you have that personality trait, that you need help or need their advice. So in the beginning, people were always trying to give me advice on how to run this business. And I'm not talking about people that were cookie experts or business
Mhm.
experts. I'm talking about every average Joe, a mechanic, my
Yeah.
electrician. I'm like,
Yeah.
and I quietly would just, try to be polite and
Yeah.
not offend them. And I think that's a mistake, because finally I feel strong enough, and I have exercised this, where people look at me, being female, Black female, and
Mhm.
quiet and reserved,
Yeah.
that I must automatically need their help. And an example of that, and I now will speak up and say,
Yeah.
I don't need your help. So an example of that is I hired an electrician to come do some electrical work, and he was just going on and on telling me what I should do and shouldn't do, and I should be advertising on this, and I should do this, and I should do that. And finally I said, you
Mhm.
know what? I didn't bring you here to ask for advice on how to run my business. I brought you in here so you can wire my electrical. So
Mhm.
can you please just wire my electrical and let me
Mhm.
run my cookie business? And this is, mind you, after that whole year I had of extreme success and
Yeah.
10,000% growth. And I think I've done pretty well for myself. I have a lot to learn and a ways to go, but for an electrician to come in and think I need his help, I'm like, why? You need to be looking at those wires.
Right.
Stop worrying about what I'm doing. Like, just make sure you do your wiring right so my
Right.
equipment works, and stay in your lane.
So nobody
And
gets
so for
electrocuted.
me, yes. And so he was taken aback at my bluntness because I was very blunt. I'm like, I
Right.
didn't bring you in here. You're wasting my time, please. And I was polite but blunt.
Yes.
And he was taken aback. And I think he realized I don't need mansplaining. I don't need an electrician telling me how to run a vegan
There
cookie
you go.
business. And I don't know what vibe I gave him to make him think I needed his help.
Mhm.
So I guess my long form answer is, one of the mistakes that I made early on is just letting, specifically, we get that from men always trying to offer me advice and tell me what I should do.
Mhm.
And now I speak up and say, thank you, but no, thank you. I'm fine. And I do
Mhm.
surround myself with mentors and professionals in
Yeah.
every field that can help me, employment attorney, my former business owner who's
Yeah.
a friend, successful people that I admire and I value their feedback. So I have several mentors, and when I need help, I will call on one of them, and they
Yeah.
will tell me what I need to hear, not what I want to hear. And they
Right.
listen to me, and then they give me their advice. And
Yeah.
I value their time because I know running a business, how difficult it is and how time is so important. So when I seek out my mentors, I make sure I schedule an appointment, and I respect their time. So
Yeah.
the bottom line is, that's a mistake that I made early on, is trying to be polite and not hurt anybody's feelings by
Mhm.
listening to them, which wasted an hour of my time that I could be running my business. And now I just speak up and cut it short and tell them thank you, but no thank you.
We are in the same boat because I get the same thing. People, I'm a sponge, I'll sit back and I'm watching you. But I'm not saying anything. I'm not a bunch of rah rah or all up in your face or anything like that. I'm watching and I'm taking everything in while my wheels are turning and I'm processing and I'm thinking. But people seem to think that's a sign of weakness, but it isn't, because I'm watching and I'm listening to you. And then,
Yep.
and I'm in marketing. So I'm a digital marketer. I got 15 plus years of digital marketing. So I don't need you to tell me how to market. Everybody's a
Right.
marketer, okay.
Yep.
I don't need you to tell. And you're right. You're so polite, okay, thank you. And they don't get the hint,
Right.
and
And they just
sometimes,
wasted your time telling
yeah,
you
they
their
don't
spiel.
get
And
the
you,
hint. And
right?
it's just
Yeah.
like, when I ask for your advice, I will ask you. I'm quite capable of that. But until then, keep it pushing. Thank you.
I think it's people see us as Black women
Yeah.
and assume that we need help.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they
Yeah.
obviously never heard of Black Girl Magic. My electrician
No.
never heard of Black Girl Magic till I had to inform him
Had to
about
give
my
him some
Black Girl
magic.
Magic.
Had to be like, ding.
Yeah, right. Yes, exactly. I had to use my Black Girl Magic, and
Here, let me
so
spray some fairy dust on you. There you go.
right, exactly. Exactly.
I'm gonna
And
have
on
to
that
use
on
that.
that same note, there have been times where I have spoken up, and I have to be careful because then, people are like, see, angry Black woman. For instance, for
Oh, yeah.
example,
Mhm.
we've received a lot of corporate order attention, meaning large corporations saying they want to start, diversifying their vendors, and they
Mhm.
want to use a Black owned business. They seek us out. And we've had great success with that. There was one where there was a mix up in the order, which we fixed. We over fixed and, apologized and made it right. And they came back to me and had the nerve to say, well, I appreciate what you fixed and what you did, but we only came to your business because we were trying to support a female Black owned business. And therefore, we would suggest that you increase your fix to this, and this, this. And if you're trying to help a business, sometimes the discount I'm giving you was my profit. So I just gave you my
Mhm.
profit.
Right.
And, if you want to help a Black owned business, don't ask for a discount. So this person, not only they asked for the discount, they wanted more of a discount and a larger refund on part of the
Oh,
order.
wow.
And I'm like, you know what? How's that helping me? Every
Mhm.
business makes a mistake. I
Yep.
fixed it. We went above and beyond. And now you're coming back to me and you're throwing that in my face, using that against me. And I said to someone, how ridiculous would it sound if I went to my oil change place and wasn't happy and said, you know what? I only came here because I was looking for a male owned white business and
Exactly.
I'm not happy and you need to refund me. Like if you flip the script, how ridiculous does that sound, using
Right.
our female black owned business as a bargaining tool or, a negative thing? It's just
Mhm.
ridiculous.
Yeah, I
So I get
think
angry.
I know I feel the same way. I think we get the stigma. I asked another one of my guests this. I think when I talk to business owners, sometimes they want to say they're black owned business and sometimes they don't because they don't want to feel like, oh, people are coming to me because I'm a black owned business, not because I'm a business and I provide you excellence. Forget about
I
them.
can respect that.
Yeah,
Yes, I understand that.
I'm a business. Yes, I am black and I own this business. Therefore, it is a black owned business, but I'm not a charity case either. You
Right.
know,
Exactly.
you know,
Exactly. And,
I'm out here trying to get a dollar just like everybody else,
right. Yep. And
so,
on that same note, people, we've been attacked saying, you're saying you're a black owned business, but you don't have a lot of black people on your Instagram feed. And I'm like, it's because it's cookies. It's pictures of our products. And someone went through all of I mean, half,
it's ridiculous.
someone went through all of our Instagram and every hand that was holding a cookie, they were like, this hand ain't black, this hand ain't black. And
Oh,
I'm like, you know
wow.
what? Really? Like they're just trying to nitpick and pick everything.
Yeah.
And we are a black owned business. We proudly employ our black community. We always seek out the black community whenever we have open positions. So
Hmm.
I'm very active. I'm a member of the San Diego chapter of the Links Incorporated. I'm a proud black woman and I am very active within our community. And for someone to come at me and say things like that, it's hurtful.
Yeah,
It's extremely hurtful because they don't know me. They don't know what I'm doing. They don't know what I do
exactly.
behind the scenes. They don't know the organizations I support. That's my life.
Yeah,
I'm a black woman, 52 years old, black woman. You can't
right.
tell me any different.
But you know what they say? There's a song that says, if you ain't got no haters, you ain't popping. So you popping. So just take that as a compliment and
Okay.
tell the haters to come on. I know I'm popping, so thank you.
Okay.
Just take that as a compliment. Tell them keep
I
on hating.
will.
Because I must be, if they wasn't paying attention to you and doing all of that, then you must not be popping. So you out here in these
Okay.
streets popping. So I wouldn't even worry about it.
All right. That's it. Words to live by. Thank you.
Just pop your collar and keep it pushing.
Right? Yes. Yes.
So what's next for Maya's Cookies?
Expansion. We need more Maya's Cookie shops.
Yes, we do.
And yep, so we're opening a second location soon, and I'm looking for a third and fourth location. So,
oh, that's awesome.
Yep.
Will we see you
So,
like on a QVC?
I would love that. I'm trying to grow my business and I'm trying to figure out how to get into all of those different revenue channels. So I'm learning.
Yeah.
And I don't have the connections that say, someone else might have. So I'm trying to make it work, trying to do it, but I would love to be on a QVC. Most of our cookie orders online are sent as gifts. So I know they're gift worthy.
Yes.
I focused on the packaging to make sure that they do look like a beautiful gift. And I'm just always trying to create new flavors. Right now, I'm working on my Black History Month collection.
Oh.
So that's what I start working on it now because I don't know what I want to do. Last year's was a huge success and everyone loved the flavors. They loved what it was about. And we donate to charity. That's part of it is we give back to the community with that collection. So right now I'm trying to work on what I want to do for this year's collection.
Awesome. I'll be buying some cookies.
Okay.
I'm going to pivot.
Okay.
What was your first side hustle?
My first side hustle was when I was 8 years old, selling Girl Scout cookies.
Ah.
And back in the day, you know, we didn't have the internet back in the 70s.
Right.
So I took out my Thomas Brothers map and I looked at the neighborhoods and I said, okay, everybody in my troop's going to be saturating this neighborhood. So I'm going to go 2 neighborhoods over. So I rode my bike. Back in the day, you could ride your bike a few miles away, right?
And come back home.
That's right. So I took my Thomas Brothers map and I figured that out. And I went over to a different neighborhood where I knew they didn't have any Girl Scout troops. And I ended up being the #1 seller that year. So that was my very first. And I like to share that story because I tell people, especially young people, when I'm giving talks, is that's a perfect example of critical thinking, problem solving. And those are 2 attributes that you need to have if you're going to be a business owner.
Yeah, because these young people are out here doing it. I'm telling you, these young kids that have these businesses right now, I'm like,
right?
I never even thought about that when I was your age. What is going on? What do you mean a multi-millionaire at 13? That's crazy.
Right? I know.
I mean, these young hustlers, I mean, we can learn from them, but oh my God, it's crazy. But Maya, I just want to, again, thank you for being on the show. I really appreciate it. I know you are super, super busy, but I really appreciate you taking the time to talk to me and to the Side Hustle Saturday community about your entrepreneurial journey. It really means a lot to me.
Thank you. And like I said, I am honored to be here and I mean that. And thank you for reaching out.
Oh, you're so welcome. Tell everybody how they can reach you on these social media highways and byways.
All right. Well, you can find us on the interwebs at mayascookies.com. Our social media handle is Maya's Cookies San Diego. That's for Instagram and Facebook. And we are on TikTok. So you can find us at Maya's Cookies on TikTok as well.
That's awesome. I still gotta try that TikTok game out. I ain't figured that out yet.
You gotta be a movie producer. You gotta have producer and director credits.
It's Side Hustle Saturday community. You know how to reach me. You need to follow me on Instagram at Side Hustle_Saturday. I'm on Facebook at Side Hustle Main Hustle. And I'm on YouTube, y'all. Hit me up on YouTube at Side Hustle Saturday Hustle Talks. Again, Maya, thank you for being on the show. And Side Hustle Saturday community, I will talk to you soon.